Long before time had a name, the first Spinjitzu master created Ninjago using 4 elemental weapons. But when he passed, a dark presence sought out to collect them all. Lord Garmadon. So I, Sensei Wu, his brother, sought out to find 4 ninja to collect them first.
When I had to make a choice, I wanted the Fang Blade so badly to prove I was good enough to become the Green Ninja. But then I figured it out. All of my training to become the best ninja wasn't in preparation to become the Green Ninja. It was to protect him.
A ninja never quits.
You don't even have a sword.
I don't need a sword.
Time is over.
Support me, friends, for one last...
Remember, only one can remain.
You can only save those who want to be saved. Goodbye, Sensei.
Wish is yours to keep.
Failure is often temporary, Kai. It can be corrected, and with effort, it can even be reversed.
There is the Wild Ninja here, and today we're taking a look at Ninjago Legacy, set 71866. This is a Ninjago display set, and this set is... wow, I can't describe it. It's a beauty. I want to talk about this set, and this might be a bit of a long review for a short set, but I really want to go into detail for why this set is so beautiful. And if you hear my young nephew in the background, apologies. This set is absolutely amazing, and this is pretty much the legacy of my childhood. This is why I really want to praise this Ninjago set for so many reasons, and I'll discuss why in this video. So if this video does go for half an hour long, you've got to understand why. This set is my childhood. The first 2 seasons, or 3 seasons of Ninjago, depending on how you look at it with the pilots, season 1 and 2, this is my childhood. Even though I didn't watch season 1 and 2 of Ninjago until 2016, 2017, this is still what has made Ninjago. So let's take a look at this set. And you might see some old Ninjago comparisons in this video. So stay tuned. So taking a look at the set itself, I think this is an absolutely great way to obviously display, well, firstly, the original 6 ninja plus Samurai X, who's a future ninja, and Master Wu. This is a great way to display it. Now, obviously, you can take the characters off of the display. Majority of them are on jumper pieces, but were introduced in, I'm going to say roughly the 2020 or 2019. No, it might have been 2020 or 2019 minifig series for the DC Batman Universe CMF series. But still, this is absolutely cool. I don't know what just fell off, but whatever just fell off may not be that important. Cool. We're just still gonna wrap with the video because, yeah. So what fell off was the tea kettle piece that I didn't put on properly, so I had to grab from another set. It's behind my tall boy. Fun, but still, absolutely great build. I love how the monastery gate is done. It's not shut like the actual original Legacy one was, but I don't think it's meant to be like that. And it's not supposed to also be pushed forward. It's supposed to be like an entry piece from March of the Oni when they enter for the not anniversary, for obviously the celebration. I love how that's done on the side. That's beautiful. Do wish that was white, however, instead of tan. Don't actually know the real reason why it wasn't. I'll talk about more of the negative stuff later on, but the set's absolutely amazing. If you can see in between there, you can see the battle between brothers from the pilots or from the mini movies, whichever one of those two were just exploring that. Maybe it was the pilots that showed these images of, but perfect, absolutely perfect. Obviously got the tea there. couches for you to put 2 minifigs. And as you can see, this is a whole area where it is supposed to display and be a part of your display minifigs. So when you obviously build the set, you're obviously going to have your 15th anniversary figure, which we'll talk about later. And you just connect like that. Now that looks alright, but I'll talk about this a bit later. Next point of discussion, how I don't also like this, but still pretty cool. If now this wants to come off, no, I'm gonna leave it because I'm probably gonna lose her, and I'm not planning to move my tall boy. I love how this little shulker box thing was done. It's supposed to represent something Chinese mythology, and I love how this flower was done. It obviously isn't trying to represent the whole monastery. It's supposed to be a display part, and I think the designers did really, really well. So I've got to talk about my negatives about this set, and my negatives aren't really to do with LEGO's design. I don't actually have a problem with this set. In fairness, when you are getting 2 exclusive minifigs, the 5 original Ninja, and then Master Wu, this set is completely worth it. 100%. Even for LEGO fans of Ninjago that get the chain piece for the first time, absolutely incredible. Have no complaints. It is mainly on how they ask you to do, well, the display. Because if you spend here in Australia $500 for this display piece, a set I will be reviewing towards the middle of the month, this does not work. You cannot display this, in my opinion, and I've seen the early reviews for this on the side. This doesn't look right at all. It feels like a big chunk of the anniversary is missing. And the thing I hate about this is, I understand how the 15th anniversary isn't clustered like that, because the 10th anniversary one looked really weird, actually. And I'm not gonna lie there, I do agree with that. And let's put Jay's mum here, the Master of Lightning here. That looks fine, but could you imagine this being a piece that connected onto the bottom of the first Ninjutsu Master and just being that middle point of connection? I'm hoping to get myself a display case and being able to build something with multiple of these sets, because I feel like something was missing here. Something that needs to be here was not apparent. Someone said, we need to cut this out. We're doing too much of too little. This isn't working. And sorry to say, whoever thought of that really didn't think. If a Ninjago fan that's been watching the show for 15 years, obviously has a job and has money, they're gonna really want to do something with the set. And as much as LEGO is to build and customize, I feel like they let you have your imagination, because I've had my imagination since the set leaked. And I see the early photos from Bricks by Mine and all that stuff, but it feels like something was missing here. If you can see here, just could you imagine that being the point of the display of your anniversary for 15 years? That would look so beautiful. And in fairness, I feel like that's what people would have wanted. You have the Elemental Masters, hopefully all of the important ones being a part of the anniversary display. Why not make it? And I think that's what I'm going to do for 2026 is my resolution, to make a set or a display case that does really include this. And I don't really want to grip on this too much, because when Bricks My Mind and Duck Bricks showed off a bit of the anniversary stuff, I'm sorry to say, I really couldn't care about this set. I could care a bit more about this. Because firstly, I'm not reviewing this at all, this looks more of a display for your anniversary things than anything. This is what we wanted for the 10th anniversary. But maybe this should have been a consideration for the 10th anniversary. Something like this might have needed to be what they considered for the 10th anniversary, instead, and just give us this for the 15th. Or even, heck, the 10th. In my opinion, something wasn't thought of in that display, because individually the Elemental Masters look fine here, and you could probably do that and customize it where the Elemental Masters are on the sides in Master Wu, First Ninjutsu Master, and Master Garment on the sides. It might look a lot better, but in my opinion, there was something that was missing here. And my question is, I've always asked when I saw the set why there was a stud there. Everything else is sort of flowing. So I never understood why. Quite interesting. The other thing I've always, even watching Books My Mind's review, because that's who I usually watch, is why are these here tan? It's not a big issue compared to what I just spoke about, but it's just something that's like, yeah, not a go. In my opinion, that's an absolutely amazing monastery build. And if I was to extend it, and I just want to pull this out, because if you watch my Serpentine more stop motion, you know I still have these still in my collection. I've held these on since I broke my monastery apart, and these would look really nice on the inside if I had more of them. These stickers at least, because you could then say you put them around here. Obviously that then will take away from where you stand your minifig, and I also realized there is a hole here, so you could probably turn that around and have your minifigs jumping. I just think it was done really beautifully, but some small parts weren't really thought of. I love that design. I've said what I love before, and I hope these negativities don't draw you away from the set, but pull you in to realize that this set might not just be a display set for us fans, but might be also to realize that we can do whatever we want for this display set, and I feel like that's the main discussion. Another thing I also want to say quickly is, this set means a lot to me in value and in just looking at the monastery. You could have paid $100 for a set like this in a similar scale, but the whole monastery. But when you see this, you see a bit of a queen here. It's a display feature for someone that doesn't have much room, and boy, I have no room, trust me. This works beautifully. I just want to customize and buy like 7 of these or 8 of these and just build. And I think that's what LEGO, no offense, really did well here, and I love it. I don't know why I said no offense, but it works really well as a display set, and I know a lot of my mates that are quite interested in getting this set when they release in local stores. So pretty much with the Master of Lightning minifig, we'll talk about it towards the end on something else, non-display thing, but I think this is pretty cool. And I'll probably talk about this with the other ones as well. I do find this pretty cool. Now, when you take these tiles off, there's a color that represents the character. There is light blue. I don't really know why it's light blue. When you just go dark blue or some sort of nice regular blue, that refers to J, lightning. So quite odd. I would more kind of have that color for Nya or Maya. Anyhow, you have the 15th anniversary there. Ninjago. You have the eyes there as well. That more look like, actually, the more you look at it, tell me you're not getting a Cole vibe. Odd. But I love how the anniversary is done pretty well. It's better than the 10th anniversary. And I just like the set. This little display build and the set. But yeah, Jay's mom fits there. We could really talk about it right now. You know, screw it. Let's talk about it right now. She comes with her lightning piece, which I don't know why it's not really in her hands compared to the other characters. Which now I can't even remember what the Master of Earth has in his hands. Sorry if you can hear my nephew in the background. She has these lightning parts that are very, like, visible. They're very shiny, which is very nice. Obviously, very accurate to this show. Obviously, is that like a bit of a crack in the torso? Not the best looking thing. The original J lightning symbol, the legs are beautiful. And remember, those are black legs. Nice printing on the back as well, and just all around a nice figure. Now, I do want to say a bit of a complaint. I don't like the face, really. This has been used on Camille. It could have been a better minifig face, but wasn't really chosen to. So yeah, I do wish there was a better minifig face. They could have chosen, to be honest with you, but we'll do that in a future video where we fix up everything that Legacy should have fixed and changed, because I think a better face for this character is out there, and I can't really find out which one. I think Quick Some Mind did a great video where he did a couple of swaps. I would have done that too. But this is Master Wu. This is the first Legacy Master Wu that we're going to have a look at in 2 more sets. Master Wu looks pretty cool. Love the torso, love the leg printing. a lot more better than his original Legacy outfit. I love how there's a lot of detail on this. The minifig is absolutely amazing. Has his Ninjago Legends face print, has the show accurate staff itself. It is an incredible minifig to obviously own and have. And the headpiece is now not going to be rare, but still an amazing minifig to obviously own in 2026. Really cool. The only two Season 1 suits I do not have at all, Samurai X and Lloyd. I will take a look at Nya's other Samurai X suits from Legacy, but Lloyd looks pretty good. Definitely has that ZX style. Comes with his weapon that he's been using since the movie that's been sort of his, which is really nice. I feel like the main thing to take a look at is obviously the back printing, which looks really cool. Now, is this bad that it isn't gunmetal? Not really. I think the gold, I've said in my review discussions about all this, look really good. The light green sort of helps represent with the gold. Gold little scales have been added here, which makes it look good. The symbol is gold as well, and was always gold, I think, on the suit. And looks absolutely amazing. I've got to say, out of all Ninja, Lloyd's head sort of works the best with these new masks. It's a slight issue that I do have, and I will sort of try to render in this video, that sometimes it just doesn't work. You don't see all the eyebrow like you're seeing on Lloyd, so it doesn't really fully make sense. So having them maybe a bit further up like that, then you sort of have a bit of an issue. It's not all the way down, and it could be easy to lose. So that's Lloyd. So really nice fig. I'll admit that. Now, Nya is pretty cool. Samurai X. I'm going to say one thing that might be a bit of a surprise. I like having the gold shoulder pad. I kind of would have maybe preferred that shoulder pad piece for a particular reason, which I'll explain next. Let's take the samurai helm. 2 black swords, which incredible. They have not been made in black in a very long time. So really prompts to LEGO, because I had someone on Marketplace ask me for black swords. So luckily I didn't sell them all, because now they have these ones. But yeah, the Samurai X printing is absolutely amazing. Helmet is changed into gunmetal gray with maybe a bit more show accurate horns, which Samurai X usually now uses instead of the bucket piece. But really, really cool parts to make Nya. I like the light blue. I love the maroon. Everything just ties in well. Now, taking a look at Kai and Zane in their new ZX suits. First, I wanted to say, I think Kai's golden weapon is a brand new full mode for him. I say that for 2 reasons. One, I'm pretty sure it would have been discontinued at this point because it hasn't been used since 2021's core. But at the same time, I could be wrong. Just something about the material of the plastic feels thicker. But that's just me. I want to push the weapons aside. Kai ZX we've seen a lot of, and I've spoken a lot about too. Really cool. I love the armor prints. I love armor print. I love how upgraded this torso is. You obviously a bit later on in the video how cool and what the differences are between the ZX suits. But you can't really see the shoulder pad, the Kai symbol on the shoulder pad, which is really, really odd. Don't know why, but it's really weird that they don't show that off. Zane, on the other hand, is also pretty cool as well. He has a new face print, reminiscing onto his Legacy design. You can see his symbol there, and you have this crashed out version, which is really nice as well. Really appreciate that we got that face print. I made a video on that as well a while ago. Pretty nice detailing nonetheless. But it is really nice to get that as a brand new face print, as this was the one time that was introduced during the Serpentine War, the Serpentine Season 1 war for the Ninja. That face print was definitely used then and there, which is really cool. They've called to do a solo talk because I've sort of reviewed them in the poly bag, and I've sort of given my discussions there, so I want to sort of keep it short and brief. I like how the gold does actually suit this look. I'm not really fazed by it. You can definitely tell this is cool. I think the one thing that is lacking with this figure, especially in this set, It is the golden weapon. Wasn't done precisely the way I thought it would be. I feel like they're trying a lot of different designs just to keep the fans happy, but I feel like we're just ending up in the same sort of era. I think the crystallized weapon piece, even though it's still not around, really does work here. So if you have plenty of those, give this to this display set, have that like that. But in my honest opinion, if something doesn't work, don't make it work. I think just giving us the 2012 or just the original Legacy stuff of Quakes would have worked a lot better. They didn't have to do this. There is a lot I need to say about Jay, so hence why Jay is the last ninja I want to review. I first want to say something. Why weren't these two put in the same sort of belts in the magazine set? Where you build Jay and you build his mother because he never met his mother. Burn. But seriously, the nunchucks are in a great piece for a display set, and I understand why the nunchucks were done like this. Something I wish they did was at least give us a light blue stud where you can push something into it, so they could give us a better nunchuck effect for display. But still, I'm fine with that. I've said it before, I think the new J does work really well, and we'll compare it with its old J later on in today's video. But still, I find this pretty cool. I do sort of wish the armor piece was silver. We'll look a bit later onto that. But I do wish, you can see there's obviously gold sparks, which is similar to Cole's. There are a lot of things I need to do when I compare this to, so we'll probably jump on that pretty much soon, rather than later. Because I probably have more to talk about there. Jay has a new face because he's discontinued, so that is really cool, and we'll probably take a look and better look at it. I do think this is a great face for Jay, and I'll talk about why it might not be the greatest face for Jay in Dragons Rising, but still, I definitely think this was a great Jay ZX fig, even though it doesn't really look very well with that silver arm. You could really compare these two, but you could really tell which one is the better design. We're not going to look at face prints for a particular reason. Obviously, that has definitely changed, but you can tell that the detail was more put into the Legacy variant than what was the original. Obviously, they have more time to print stuff, and I really do think the Legacy does feel very full, but this feels simple enough just to be Legacy-ified. Or be a Master Robe. I feel like this is a lot of things. You could even give this to Zane as a future Master Robe, but still, a nice comparison to see what changes you could have done to make the suit look a lot better. Really cool. As to the other Samurai X suits, I actually like this one a lot better. It doesn't just have a symbol that is slapped onto it, and looks a lot better too. Has better printing on the back and doesn't give it just a samurai look, which obviously the Legacy ones do. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure it's this one that does have the kendo armor in red, and that this near face belongs to this one with those horns for the bucket piece. This one has this Mr. E shoulder pad. I think I've also given her the scabbard. And I give her this smiley face area, because this is the sort of era where she was sort of, Samurai X in a cool way. So that as well. But I really think out of the 3 Legacy Samurai X minifigs, I think this one's the coolest. Also, did they fix up the Nya face? They might have fixed it up. I don't know. I do seriously think that the new one for 2026 is really the coolest Samurai X minifig for Legacy. Easy just to show off the gold shoulder pad group with the gold shoulder shoulder pad, not crab, piece. Firstly, they look really similar. I think the only differences between the original and to the Legacy is they don't far-fetch every single detail that needs to be there with like the shurikens and all that. You can definitely see that very well, and I think that's fine. I think the hoods are very accurate. There's not really a lot to say until you look at Jang Cole, really. You can see Kai symbol back there a lot better, instead of this one, which I hope they do fix, but at the same time, I'm not really phased because I think the arm printing is more toned onto that one. But you can see that Kai, the 2 Zanes are very similar. If I take off the shoulder pad, for both. I think you'll see that the Kai one has more detailing, of course. So I definitely do think that is definitely a cool thing, but maybe that's the reason why we're not getting the anniversary, that symbol. Sorry, I don't know why I was saying anniversary. That symbol high above that, maybe. I don't know. I still think that's just a really, really cool thing. But still, I really appreciate the sort of minifigs these are. Really cool. Really definitely fit with the anniversary vibes too. I figured I'll talk also about the hoods and how much this actually means to me. Firstly, this Cole is absolutely amazing. The backstory of my ZX Cole, and I'll go in with Jay, is I've had these since 2012. Kai and Zane I've just got recently in the last 2-3 years, so they don't have much importance to me as much as Kai, Cole, and Jay do. So Cole I got in the Serpentine Snake sort of set, and he was such a mesmerizing piece. For some reason, I always got his legs mistaken with the original Cole, because those were the legs that looked similar. You can tell the symbol has faded off, so I can't really do a great comparison with this. But I've always said to myself that sort of dark tan color would really work well with gold. Turns out they did it with gold, and it does work out. Cole in recent sets, especially in 2020, gold really worked really well with his armor sets, and with the knight armor set. And I really like that. The Hero Cole minifig looked absolutely amazing, and I feel like this one, just reading cops, retells that Cole sort of story, and makes that so incredible. Not giving him the silver shoulder armor is definitely something I always found lackluster for this, but still, I'm very mesmerized on how good this is. If you are going to pick this up, obviously these minifig masks aren't going to fade like the silver or gold in your original ZX collection. So that's another reason why my mates are going to want to pick these sets. Now, my JZX is one of the oldest ZX suits I have, not the oldest Ninjago thing. The arm actually isn't supposed to be silver. It is supposed to be gray. Don't know why that was the case back then, but we do now have both silver arms. Now, you definitely can see a lot of things. There is more dark blue on the straps. There is more gold, light blue on Jay himself than grays. And yeah, I think that kind of works in this minifig's favor. My Jay actually comes from the Stormfighter, so I'm reusing the Cole armor piece from before. And you can tell here, even, I don't want to rip the armor piece off because you can see it already. There is much more detailing on this figure. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the armor piece off because I do want to show you, if you do have the silver armor piece, what and why this looks a lot better. But you might have seen Brooks by Mind's review already, and comparing them already as well. So that's the front, and that is also the back, and the symbol is a lot larger, not small, and you can see the more gold and silver symbols there. Compared to what you see here, there's nothing there, just scrub marks. So you can obviously do this with your new ZX J minifig, and this works surprisingly well. It's like maybe this was thought about. Obviously, if the arm piece was a bit more newer and shinier, you could definitely say this is a great minifig to have. The gold still works like that. It's one of the secondary colors on the suit when you look at it personally, and would really have worked. All they needed to do was bring that silver armor piece back, and people would be flooding in with money to buy it. I know as much as I would, I need a lot of silver armor pieces, especially for this J, for a couple of my kimono suits, and etc. So it would have been a nice way to get that. Obviously, that wasn't the case. I definitely do think if you do have spares of that silver armor piece, or you're just going to paint a gold one up, do it. I think it helps lift this J minifig a lot more. And that's kind of why I done this comparison video. I'm going to leave Jay's armor piece off because I don't want to put him back without the armor. But like I said before, with Cole, sorry, the armor will not scratch off on the top. Those are all the spare parts you get on the set. Of course, again, having the black sword is always great. Having the new staff piece is absolutely amazing as well. Obviously, these are always going to come in handy when you're making stop motion videos, which I've been doing recently, so really cool. Sort of mix of stuff that you get in the set. And nice to have those gold hearts back in the Ninjago set as well. Conclusion. This set is absolutely amazing and definitely worth the LEGO store price point. Especially because in Australia, I know I'd be able to get this for $50 instead of 60. I know this set is worth the $60 count. I'm very amazed with everything that's in it, and I know this video might have been a bit of a longer review. I just wanted to talk about how much this set means to me personally, watching the show for more than 15 years. I'm very glad on majority of the things they've done in the set. Display-wise, I love it. I do have my perks about it, like I said in this video. And issues, which really don't align with the set build. Again, that was all said before, and I don't want to repeat myself again. But I hope you guys enjoyed the first review of Ninjago 2026 set. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos, and check out my second channel. I'll be doing stop motion with these minifigs. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out, guys. The only thing I forgot to say is that there is a beautiful thing in the instructions where it does actually compare the minifigs to the originals, has a bit of cool context on what the photos are obviously explaining 2011 to 2012's minifigs, and just a bit about the anniversary set in different languages names, which is really, really cool.